July 7th, 2021 meeting of the James City County Planning Commission. Mr. Holt, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Null.
Present.
Ms. Null represents the Stonehouse District. Mr. Rose.
Here.
Mr. Rose represents the Roberts District. Ms. Leverance, who is an at-large member, could not be with us this evening. Mr. Polster.
Here.
Mr. Polster represents the Jamestown District. Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor is an at-large member and is this year's vice chair. Mr. Kropp.
Here.
Mr. Kropp represents the Powhatan District. Mr. Haldeman.
Here.
Mr. Haldeman represents the Berkeley District and is this year's chair. I'm Paul Holt, Director of Community Development and Planning for the county, and sitting to my right here in person is Mr. Max Sullivan, our Deputy County Attorney. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We now have time for public comments. Public comment period is for residents who would like to address the commission on any subject not subject to a public hearing tonight. Residents are limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Holder, are there any comment cards, speaker cards? Would anybody like to speak? Thank you very much. We now have time for reports of the commission. The DRC, Ms. Null.
We did not meet this month, sir.
Thank you. Policy, Mr. Polster.
No report.
Thank you. The consent agenda items are determined to be non-controversial. However, a planning commissioner can pull any item for discussion. There are 2 items for consideration, the minutes of the June 2nd and May 25th meetings. Would any commissioner like to pull a subject from the consent agenda, or do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Move on to public hearings. This one and only public hearing is for SUP 21-0014, Busch Gardens Entertainment Event Building. Ms. Costello, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Mr. Anthony Lubier of VHB has applied on behalf of SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment for a special use permit to allow for the construction of approximately 32,500 square foot building to be used partly as an entertainment event building and partly as a warehouse storage facility. The Busch Gardens Williamsburg site, located at 7851 Pocahontas Trail, is zoned M1 Limited Business and Industrial and is designated Limited Industry on the adopted comprehensive plan. A special use permit is required because the proposed structure exceeds 10,000 square feet. The event building will be located towards the rear of the property where the nursery is currently located. The area is screened by mature trees and a large tall wooden fence. This facility will not be visible from the Busch Service Road. Approximately 43% of the building space will be used for special entertainment events, and the remaining space will be used for storage. All materials and storage will be contained in the building, as there is no outdoor storage proposed. Planning staff has reviewed this application and finds it to be consistent with the zoning ordinance, comprehensive plan, and adjacent development. Other agencies have reviewed the application and minor comments will be addressed during the site plan process. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend approval of this application to the Board of Supervisors, subject to the proposed conditions. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have, and the applicant is also here as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions of staff? Hearing none. Thank you very much. Any disclosures by commissioners? No? Thank you. In that case, I'll open the public hearing. That will do for the applicant's presentation, I take it, or would the applicant like to add anything? Feel free if you'd like. Okay, thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Thank you. Do we have any speakers cards, Mr. Holt? Thank you. With that, I'll close the public hearing. Discussion? Or a motion to approve?
I move that we support SUP number 21-0014, Busch Gardens Entertainment Event Building.
With conditions?
With conditions?
With conditions, of
Okay.
course.
Thank you. Mr. Holt, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Null.
Aye.
Mr. Rose.
Aye.
Mr. Polster.
Aye.
Mr. Crop.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
And Mr. Haldeman.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. There are no Planning Commission considerations. Planning Director's report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing new, but just a little advance notice. We've got to take this show on the road for your August and September Planning Commission meetings. There's going to be some construction that's occurring in this room. So for your August and September Planning Commission meeting, we're going to hold those at Legacy Hall. Something a little different, something unique, but we have terrific video capabilities, so we'll be all set up. So I'll send you a reminder the day of, the week before, whole bunch, so that everybody shows up in the right spot. But DRC and policy will continue to meet in Building A. We're not going to change the location of those. It's just for this meeting for the next 2 months.
What's going on here, if you don't mind me asking?
They are upgrading some of the technology, a lot of the lights in the ceiling, so there'll probably be scaffolding up, and or just be in the way if we try to have a meeting and all of that. So I think they're doing some AV upgrades, definitely lighting upgrades. So
Any chance we could make Legacy Hall permanent? Pure greed. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Any questions of Mr. Holt? Thank you. Planning Commission discussions. Dr. Rose, you have board coverage on, pardon me, July 13th.
Yep.
Any other discussion requests, Mr.?
Just one. I sprung it on Mr. Holt walking in the door today, but now that our comp plan is done, I think it may be. I don't know if it's helpful or beneficial, but it might be helpful to do a postmortem on our comp plan process, especially in light of how it all went this year, given the pandemic and the remote participation and the like. So it's just a thought, since we haven't, I believe, officially disbanded the PCWG. It might be worthwhile to have a short session on that. So just throw it out for everybody's consideration.
I've already halfway through my own, if you want to know the truth, so I think it's a great idea. So, and some notes for the next revision, things that went well, things that didn't, and that sort of thing.
Process ideas are really helpful, especially while they're fresh in your brain. 5 years will be here before any of us know it, for sure.
We did that sort of with the CPT and closing out the CPT, so just might be helpful.
Good idea. Anything else? Not, may I please have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did we set a
Meeting
record?
adjourned.